I'm Morgan Dahman. I'm your moderator for the vice presidential debate. All right, Eric, the first question is for you. What should the U.S. do to stop bloodshed in Syria?
Stopping bloodshed in Syria. I believe that this is too big of an event for America to just sit back and not take action. Not because we need to get in there and we need to set up and run that country. We need to get in there and we need to set up a democratic government up there and make sure that country is stable. Just like we did when Iran went after Kuwait. We went in there and we cleaned it up and we saved Kuwait and we brought back a more stable situation. I think we need to do the same thing in Syria. We need to take out Al-Qaeda and the Muslim Brotherhood and set up either another similar power that is going to keep the peace there, or maybe even some sort of dictator that'll keep the peace. Because having Al-Qaeda and terrorism running around over there is going to affect America, because we're a major enemy to them, and the UN and different allied countries to us. So I say we need to step in there with our military and take action.
Matt, your rebuttal?
I agree with him. Totally, 100%. Yeah, very good answer right there. That's what we're going to do.
All right, Matt. What should be America's stance towards illegal immigration? Are you in favor of the DREAM Act?
Yeah, we're in favor of the DREAM Act. For illegal immigration, I guess Emma's answer. Hang on. Let's see. Ah, here it is. Well, we support America's current laws and regulations towards illegal immigration. I think it's America's duty to provide support for people from other countries that don't have materials and money and they need like a stable society to live in. We should like help them come across, help them out, be able to come across easier. And that's about it.
Eric, your rebuttal?
Some things I can agree with from the Democratic Party, and some things I can't. I believe we shouldn't just open our doors up, because right now, Mexico, from where most of our illegal immigrants are coming from at the moment, Mexico is very unstable. The cartels are basically running the country around there. We can't just open up our doors to just illegal immigration, because that's going to funnel in all the bad stuff. It's kind of like a filter. We need to set up a tight filter to bring in the people that are looking for the education and are not looking to cause violence. We should have ID checks for people coming across the border. Mexico has ID checks when you come in there. We don't just come across the border. They double check you, and sometimes they don't even let you in. You need to realize that we can help them, but we need to help them in the right way. We can't just open it up and then give them welfare checks for the rest of the time. We need to help them, bring them in a secure fashion, orderly fashion, and then we can set up an education for them. We can't just give them everything and then give them checks while they're here. We need to set up, and we don't even have jobs enough for Americans right now. We can't support a whole nother colony or something coming over here. We need to stabilize our own country right now, and then we can open up assets for other people.
Eric, how can we decrease pollution in our industries, and is this a priority for our country?
Decreasing pollution right now, it's difficult because I believe that America needs to bring back production, and we need to go into our own resources, using resources such as coal and oil. Right now, I think such as the DNR and the EPA are doing a good job at what they're saying, but we need to, for our economy, we need to look into our oil reserves and stuff like that. I believe that if we went into our own resources and we used them and we opened up more factories and jobs, I don't think it would affect the environment to an area or an extent that would be too negative that we wouldn't be able to bounce back from it. So I think looking into our own resources and creating more factories and stuff like that, I think we should worry about that when it's more in a bigger situation than it is right now.
Matthew, your rebuttal?
Well, first thing I got is, if you think the EPA and DNR are doing such a good job, why are you cutting the EPA in half in your budget?
Because,
No, we're not done. You be quiet.
okay,
Also, we need a pollution cap on factories. Businesses can still, you know, they still keep businesses going, it'll be fine, but they can have prices on it. Yeah, the prices for like, they're called like 1 units, that's what Mr. Gore said. 1 unit, they go by units of how much pollution a factory can put in the air, and then you can sell and rearrange them by what they want. And if we have that, then pollution will be limited, and factories can still do what they want. But also, if the factories did care about the pollution rate, and so we don't have to end up like China, that we can go into more natural resources like wind energy, solar energy, and all that other stuff.
Eric, do you have something to say to that?
yeah, I do actually, because, you know, looking into our own resources such as oil and coal isn't gonna stop us from going into wind energy and stuff. I believe that we have our resources that we have right now, so we don't need to buy into all the other resources in the Middle East and other resources in Asia and stuff, since we can supply ourselves. And looking into solar energy and wind energy and other things like that, I'm not saying no to that. I believe we could do that. Right now, at the time right now, I don't believe we can, because we have such an unbalanced economy. And cutting the EPA and in the DNR like that, I believe, yes, that's okay, because like I said, they're doing a pretty good enough job right now, so they can afford to be cut. That's why I think it's okay for them to be cut.
All right, Matt.
No, that's totally.
She's talking.
Matt, what's
She asked the question. Thank you.
What's the most effective way to curb America's gun violence?
Let's see. Hang on, you got an idea. It's coming. Thinking.
Ideas come from iMessage.
No, I don't. Oh. Ideas do not.
Oh, okay.
The last one was totally mine.
Yep.
What do we value more, life or guns? That's all I got. Thanks,
My turn?
Eric, your rebuttal.
Okay. Handling gun control in the U.S. The last 3 major mass killing sprees, I guess you could say, have been people from the emotionally ill or the mentally ill. You look at the Denver, Colorado theater shooting. That young man was looking. He was going to a therapist at the time. He had told his therapist that it had gone so bad, and he was so stressed out that he was going out and he was going to take action and kill somebody. He had warned that therapist. In the next week or 2, or however long it was, he had went out and purchased a gun. Now, I believe we shouldn't put restrictions on the guns. We should put restrictions on the people that can't use them properly. Guns are used for killing, yes. I mean, you can't cover it up. Oh, but you use them for target shooting and stuff like that. That's true, but you gotta realize, I have a better argument than that. You gotta watch out for the people. We need to put security, and we need to put, not security, but you need to put the people that have psychological or mental disorders or setbacks, or are struggling in their time right now, they need to be put into the system. There needs to be a tighter, more like a tighter background check, so those people aren't even able to get at weapons and such like that. And then you look at the Newtown shooting. That man was mentally disabled. His mom owned several firearms. He went into that school. He was never supervised at the time. He should be supervised. There should be restrictions for how long, how he is able to access those guns. There needs to be tighter security. I believe there can be tighter security for schools, such as that. We don't need to have armed guards patrolling, but there are other options. You look at the California TAP shooting. This young man, he went into the school last year, the year before this. He had a hit list. The teachers found out about it, and the parents knew about it, and the school was notified. They knew that this kid was struggling, but still he was able to get a hold of a shotgun, and he was able to go into that school freely. He walked in and shot a kid. They were able to talk him down, thankfully, no one lost their life. It's not the gun's fault, it's not the kid's fault, but it's the parents, the school, and security's fault. That's all I got to say.
Matt, your rebuttal to that?
You say you want more security. Won't that cost more money? Don't you wanna cut federal spending?
And
Don't you wanna, isn't that what you want? Well, you just wanted to raise it, spend more on security. That makes no sense. You gotta have a little better answer than that.
Elliot, do you have a response to that?
I do have a response. Now, with the conservative budget plan here, it seems as though we're gonna cut spending in certain things here that are gonna balance the budget, and we're gonna actually be able to produce and raise our economy to a positive level and drop the debt. So with that extra cash that we'd be funneling in, we will be able to spend more on certain things. Just because you can cut things. Yes, we're cutting quite a bit of money off of certain things. And with that extra money, we can do a little bit of extra security for schools and stuff like that.
Yeah, but would it just be a little bit? Wouldn't it be a lot? There's a lot of schools, isn't there?
And
Yeah, that was kind of quite an answer. You gotta be a little more.
I'll be able to handle it, don't worry.
You will. I thought the government.
All right, on to the last question. This one's for both of you,
Dang it, I had a good
but I'll
answer
direct
that
it towards
time.
Elliot first. What is your best attribute for the vice president?
That was to me?
Mhm.
Couldn't hear it.
Oh, cool.
I'm confused by the question, actually, I'm sorry.
What do you bring to the vice president?
That's what
What's
I
your
thought.
best characteristic?
Okay, I'm sorry. My best characteristic, I guess, to bring to the vice presidency would be that I have a plan. I know what I'm talking about. I understand most of the political things that are going on right now, and I will take action. In some of my speeches, I plainly say that I'm here for the American people, and I'm here to challenge anybody that's gonna step in my way of that. So, yep.
Matthew, what is your best attribute for the vice president?
American safety, America safety, I should say. Well, I will push, me and Emma, I should say, will push to ban assault rifles. I guess, I was just on a talk show recently, and I guess what I said before is totally wrong with what they want. I guess they want to ban assault rifles. And banning assault rifles will be easier than what Eric, on that last question, just said. It would cost less, which would make our debt less, which he wants to do, but I don't know, he's kind of veering from that a little bit. Also, yeah, that's basically it. Done.